a new round of mask mandates, Obama's birthday bash, and will Governor Andrew Cuomo be impeached? Then more on this week's headlines. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. If you've been watching the mainstream media coverage of COVID-19, you'd think the world was ending. Literally. Newsweek even had a cover story about the doomsday variant of COVID-19. I'm guessing that's the only variant that can actually kill Superman. Thanks to the stupid Delta variant, COVID cases are actually higher now than they were a year ago. But the good news is, hospitalizations and deaths are way down. But the media doesn't focus on that part. You know why? Because scary stories about COVID drive clicks. And to that I just have to say, most of the stories we're going to cover today are about COVID. Thanks for clicking, folks. Let's just hope this video doesn't get pulled off of YouTube, like our video that joked about COVID 2 weeks ago. Hey, speaking of COVID, McDonald's announced masks will be mandatory for all employees and customers in areas with high or substantial COVID transmission. This is an unpopular move among staff, since the only McDonald's employee who's been in favor of wearing a mask this whole time has been the Hamburglar. Mayor McCheese will likely try to fight this, citing personal freedoms and not being able to wear a mask since he doesn't have any ears. Also, I'm fairly sure his mouth goes all the way around. Ugh. Wearing masks at McDonald's will help keep the public healthy, though, since not only does it slow the spread of COVID, but it also prevents you from eating McDonald's. Besides McDonald's, Walmart and Target will also require employees in areas of high rates of COVID infections to wear masks. Fun fact, pretentious Target shoppers who call Target Target also refer to coronavirus as COVID-19. You don't sound classy, Sandra. You sound trashy. Walmart will also encourage customers to wear a mask by posting signs and passing out masks at their entrance. If only Walmart encouraged its customers to wear pants. A mask mandate is the closest Walmart will ever come to implementing a dress code. It's not just businesses requiring masks. Louisiana reimposed indoor mask mandates, regardless of vaccination status. This makes Louisiana the first state to do so after the CDC altered its recommendation to say that vaccinated people should also wear masks in some indoor areas. Depending on how long this lasts, next year's Mardi Gras might feature women getting beads for flashing their nostrils. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announced citizens will need proof of vaccination to enter indoor gyms, restaurants, and other businesses. And after an evaluation period, this mandate may be expanded to other businesses. New York City is the first U.S. city to implement a vaccine passport, calling it the Key to NYC Pass. This decision is unpopular among some Democrats, with Boston Mayor Kim Janey saying she wouldn't issue a vaccine mandate, citing slavery and Trump's birtherism conspiracies as examples of when people of color had to show their papers.
As it relates to requiring vaccines wherever we go, we know that will have a disproportionate impact on poor families in particular and communities of color.
It turns out, despite what you might be hearing on MSNBC, getting vaccinated or not doesn't really fall along party lines. It's young people and minorities who are more hesitant to get the vaccine. This is an issue of trust, and you can't build or repair trust through force. As I discussed in a story I covered a few days ago, vaccine passports could just lead to a new form of segregation in New York City. That's on top of the current form of segregation in New York City. Gentrification, like in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. More after the break. Welcome back. Former President Obama is hosting a 60th birthday event for himself this weekend. He originally had invited hundreds of guests. This was in spite of new CDC guidelines amid spikes in cases of the COVID Delta variant. If this were to become a super spreader event, Obamacare will be used to treat Obama indifference. Thanks, Obama. While it would be easy to call Obama hypocritical or reckless, this party will be held outdoors. All guests must be vaccinated and submit a negative COVID test. And Martha's Vineyard, where the event will be held, isn't an area of high spread. Also, Obama is reportedly significantly scaling back on the event, which was planned months ago, to now only include family and close friends. People really want to see Obama as purely a villain or purely a hero, but there are always shades of gray. The only thing that's black and white about Obama are his parents. The U.S. has reached Joe Biden's 70% vaccination goal. A month late, but hey, we still got there. That's good enough, right? Apparently not, because some states haven't reached that goal. To be fair, it's hard to reach any goal when the goalposts keep moving. Two states that haven't reached 70% are Florida and Texas, because of course. And these two states accounted for 1/3 of all new U.S. coronavirus cases last week. In response to this, official Texas Representative Matthew McConaughey said, 1/3? Gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. Florida and Texas also accounted for 3/3 of all instances of people shooting snakes inside a Waffle House. Florida has broken its record for number of COVID-19 hospitalizations. In response to this, Governor Ron DeSantis said that the spike in hospitalizations will soon drop and has refused to impose any business restrictions or mask mandates. COVID has officially replaced the main reason people in Florida are usually hospitalized: car accidents involving drivers over the age of 80, alligator bites, heat stroke, and car accidents involving alligators over the age of 80 suffering from heat stroke. It's Florida, man. It's important to remember that being vaccinated doesn't guarantee you won't get COVID. Senator Lindsey Graham learned that this week, when he tested positive for COVID-19 and experienced flu-like symptoms despite being vaccinated. Reacting to this news, the chief strategist of the Rhode Island Democratic Party sent out a tweet saying, "It's wrong to hope he dies from COVID, right? Asking for a friend." Reacting to this news, I sent out a tweet saying, "It's wrong to tweet, 'It's wrong to hope he dies from COVID, right? Asking for a friend, right?' Asking for Kate Coyne McCoy. Yes, it's wrong. Besides wishing for the death of a political opponent, an inoculated person dying from COVID won't boost confidence in vaccines, you I ran out of characters. Republicans would never wish for harm to fall on their opponents, because they're too busy wishing to harm their opponents themselves. Audio surfaced of House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy at a fundraiser saying it would be hard not to hit Nancy Pelosi with a gavel if he's sworn in as Speaker after the 2022 midterm elections. I'm shocked. Mostly that it wasn't Mitch McConnell who said this, since turtles are known to throw hammers at their adversaries. The fact this is where political discourse is in America makes a lot of people want to get hammered. I said it before and I'll say it again. I miss the good old days when politicians who disagreed with each other were mature enough to meet face to face, have a civil conversation, and challenge each other to a duel. I guess what I'm saying is make America great again, if for no other reason than so Lin-Manuel Miranda can write a sequel to Hamilton. More after the break. Welcome back. The Biden administration has decided to leave in place a Trump-era policy that has allowed it to turn away hundreds of thousands of migrants from Mexico and Canada to slow the spread of COVID in America. I hate to say it, but it's past time we build a wall at the border of Canada. If we had built the Canadian border wall 20 years ago, then Americans would have been able to slow the spread of an even worse plague, Nickelback. While we're at it, let's build a wall around the UK, so English actors stop taking American jobs. How on earth are Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man all British? We should also think about building a wall around New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo, because a state attorney general report found Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, violating state and federal law. Following this report, New York lawmakers began an impeachment probe against Cuomo and may file articles of impeachment against him as early as next week. In response to this, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo said nothing. because reporting on his brother's scandal would be a conflict of interest. Doing countless fluff pieces on him last year to boost his approval ratings, though, that was fine, I guess. Chris Cuomo killed his own credibility faster than his brother's policies killed senior citizens in nursing homes. Not only might Andrew Cuomo be impeached for this, he might also be prosecuted. For sexual harassment, that is. He still hasn't faced repercussions for his policies that killed thousands of elderly people. This is like if everyone thought Ted Bundy was a monster, but only because he was a misogynist. And I know likening Andrew Cuomo to Ted Bundy isn't a fair comparison. I mean, Ted Bundy wasn't responsible for nearly as many deaths as Andrew Cuomo. On the bright side, after facing countless sexual harassment allegation claims and the prospect of impeachment and prosecution, Andrew Cuomo is now qualified to run for president. Twitter announced they would partner with the Associated Press and Reuters to combat misinformation on their platform. Misinformation on Twitter includes topics like COVID, politics, and the idea that you can make up for only having 280 characters by tweeting 300 times in a row. Twitter saying they're going to stop misinformation is like McDonald's saying they're going to stop childhood obesity. I don't believe they will. One piece of misinformation that Twitter could clear up is the idea that former President Donald Trump is anti-vaccine. Trump took credit for creating COVID vaccines in record time and encouraged his supporters to get vaccinated months ago. Trump himself is also vaccinated. But that's not enough. His former Secretary of Health and Human Services says Trump should have gotten vaccinated on national television to boost public trust. Yeah, because if Donald Trump is known for anything, it's boosting trust. Relying on Trump to build public trust is like relying on Tony Montana to convince kids to say no to drugs. I don't believe they will. Trump can't control his fans. Blaming someone or something's fans for not reacting the way you wanted them to is called fan blaming. And it's what's happened to He-Man fans who didn't enjoy the new Masters of the Universe series from showrunner Kevin Smith. The series and Kevin Smith have received backlash and accusations of being too woke for, spoiler alert, killing off He-Man and replacing him with a female side character. In turn, Smith lashed out at the backlash by blaming He-Man fans for their own unhappiness with the show. You know what? I don't blame Kevin Smith. Quit complaining and like what you're given, nerds. Now you may be asking why I'm defending Kevin Smith and why I'm even covering this dumb story. Well, it just so happens that Kevin Smith has been hired as the new head writer for America Uncovered. I can't wait to see what he comes up with.
What's that, Kevin? Oh, I'm the main character now. So, what do you think about the stories we covered this week? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, America Uncovered is supported mainly by viewers. Be sure to visit patreon.com/AmericaUncovered. Contribute $1 or more per episode. We rely on your support to help us keep making great episodes. I'm Shelley Zhang. Thank you for watching America Uncovered.